y'all. So I am so proud of myself because I said I was doing this live today. And it was a rough day for me, but I was like, I made the time because it is still today, which is still Tuesday. So I was like, yes, I made it. Anywho, so I'm super excited. I said that I was going to talk about poor leadership today. And the interesting thing is, one of the reasons why it took me so long to get on this live and talk about leadership is because I experienced some poor leadership today. The other day when I was talking about some of the things that nonprofits need to do better, I got a DM and someone said that I should really expand on talking about poor leadership. So let me tell you why I'm doing that. Some years ago, someone told me that just because you are the founder of an organization or just because you are, let's say, the CEO of the company, that doesn't mean that you have to be the person that's people facing. And let me tell you why that's important. Because if you know that you have difficulty in relationships with people, if you know that you have a nasty attitude, if you know that you lack patience and empathy and grace and all of that, you don't have to be the face of your company. You also don't have to be the leader that is people facing in your company. There are plenty of CEOs that run their business and they are the strategy side. So they're the person that they do the strategy, they do the planning, they make the decisions, but they literally have people that go between them. So employees are not coming directly to them. So why am I sharing that with you? Because there are some people that are just in denial. They are in denial of the fact that they are poor leaders. So let me share with you what I mean by that. So a sign that you might be a poor leader: if you can't keep staff and you have high turnover, you're not a good leader. That's just a fact. The thing is that if you are not able to retain staff or employees, I'm going to ask you some questions, right? So the first thing is, number one, have you even bothered to find out why you're not retaining them? Do you have someone doing exit interviews? Are you asking your staff, the people that are exiting or attriting, are you asking them to share with you why they are leaving? And wait, y'all gonna have to hold on a second. My son taught me how to hook up all this microphone stuff, and I literally was supposed to be putting my headset on and I was supposed to be recording, and I didn't do any of that. So give me a second. All right, there we go. That is so perfect. So I'm so excited about that because my son hooked me up and set me up for my whole podcast, and I am testing out the audio now. He did the mic for me, gave me the headphones, set me up with this wonderful stuff. So the point is for me to check and find out whether or not the audio sounds well. And what better way to do that than when I'm on a live with you all. So let's go back to where we were. I'm gonna rewind and like just do it all over again. I'm gonna just start from the beginning. So hey Chris, thank you for joining. All right, so I'm Tiffany Hicks and I'm the CEO of VRE Training Solutions, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about some signs that you are a poor leader. I mentioned that a lot of people are in denial as it comes to leadership because often people believe that just because they're the CEO of their business, that means that they are a leader. Yeah, you could be, but the question is, do you have the characteristics of an effective leader? Because there's effective leadership and then there is ineffective leadership. There's great leadership, there's mediocre leadership. Just because you are the CEO of your business, that simply means that you started the business. Do you know how to keep the business afloat? So what we were talking about was the biggest sign that you have poor leadership is if your business keeps attriting, right? If you keep having staff that quits leaves, turns over. Another thing you want to consider is if you can't hold on to clients, right? So this isn't just an internal reason that you may be a poor leader. This could also be an external showing that you're a poor leader. It takes a lot to retain clients. And sometimes clients won't come back to you. They may like what you did for them, but maybe they didn't like the experience they had with you. So if they don't like the experience they had with you, they may not come back, right? It's the same thing with your employees. When your employees come to work for you as a leader, you have a responsibility to, number one, make sure you set clear expectations, right? The way that you set clear expectations is by having conversations, meaningful conversations. And then the other thing is training. Did you train your employees, or did you simply expect them to, by process of osmosis, know how you want your business to be ran? And often poor leaders believe that they read a resume and this person said that they had this set of skills, so I should be able to just throw them in and then they should be able to affect change in my business. Well, the truth is that however that employee worked at the other places, that's what they have some mastery in. They don't know your system. They don't know your brand. They don't know how you want them to operate in your system. And if you haven't taken the time to make that clear, nor if you taken the time to train them, that's a problem. And people will leave because of that. So first sign that you're a poor leader, if you can't keep people around you, if you're a nonprofit, if you can't keep board members, if you can't keep volunteers, if you can't keep donors, right? If you're a for-profit, if you can't keep employees or staff, if you can't keep customers, that is definitely the number one sign that you are a poor leader. So I'm going to give you a better example. I was working at an organization, and one of the things was one of the managers would often simply tell you to do something and then send you a spreadsheet. And that was her version of training. Now, if you don't tell the person what to do with the spreadsheet, if you don't tell them what the expectations are, if you don't give them steps, then how can you anticipate that they will be able to navigate through what you want them to do? I will share with you another sign that you are a poor leader. If you haven't sat down and put together not one process, if the whole process is in your head and you are expecting your employees to know the process and you want to talk them through it really fast, you haven't written it down, you haven't put any steps to it, you don't have like a flow chart, you haven't done a video, you haven't taken the time to do any of the things, but when the person comes to work for you, you want to rush them through a process that they really don't understand yet because you want them to be where you are. Now, here's the thing. There are people learn different ways, right? Each individual learns in a very different way. And if as a leader, you're not taking the time to sit with your employee, your staff, your volunteer, your board member, if you're not sitting and asking them questions like, number one, how do you like to communicate? Do you prefer email, text message, phone call? Number two, how do you learn best? Right? Do you prefer auditorial, visual, kinesthetic, right? That's very important because you want to, as the leader, set your people up to succeed, right? They are your asset. Like, you're not, people that are leaders or CEOs of companies or founders, they think that they're doing someone a favor because they're giving someone a job. No, the people that come to your business are the asset. The goal is for them to help you live out your mission, your vision, your dream, because you're the owner. And how do you get that kind of buy-in from people if you've consciously made a decision to half-ass whatever it is that you're sharing with them about your goals or your processes? So I said I was going to come on today I wanted to keep it short. I have so many signs that you are a poor leader, but I really believe today that I am going to wrap up that the number one sign that you are a poor leader is that you cannot keep employees or staff or volunteers or clients. And you may really want to rethink how you approach those things. You may want to ask yourself, when people come on board, what are some things that you want to know about them? Number one, if you know that you don't like to say things multiple times, perhaps you shouldn't hire someone that requires you to share things for more clarity. If you're the kind of leader that doesn't like to answer questions, that's going to be a problem if you hire a person that likes to ask questions for clarity. If you know that you don't have patience with people, first of all, you shouldn't be leading anyone if you don't have patience. Period. If you don't have empathy, patience, or the ability to extend grace, you should not be leading anyone. You need to first go find that for yourself. You need to figure out how to lead yourself in those areas. And then I would say hire some people, or you need a manager. Hire a good leader. If you suck as a leader, go find someone that has a trait or a characteristic that you need. I really think that too often we think that because we're the owner of the business, that means that we have this entitlement, that we are the leader and things have to go our way. But if you can't maintain staff and you can't scale your business, then you're not leading well. You're ineffective. And I want to ask you this. If you're the CEO or the business owner and you're ineffective, maybe you should fire yourself, because that's something that can be done. You don't have to lead in your business if you're not good at leading. What you have to do is be smart enough to partner with someone who is a good leader, that can hire people, that can do the things that you are not comfortable with doing, that you're afraid of doing, or that you're just not willing to do. But if you truly want your business to grow, your project to grow, your family to grow, and I'm saying that because all of the things that I'm sharing now in leadership is so important, because I've said this before. One of the things that I mentioned is, if you can't lead yourself, should you really be leading other people? If you don't know how to extend grace and patience, if you don't know how to explain things, right, then that tells me something about you. I often tell people, consider this. If you have children, or if you have loved ones, or if you have someone in your family that maybe even has special needs, because I have some special needs family members, would you lose all your patience with them if you had to explain something to them? If you love your children and you love your spouse, you are going to explain things until you get the desired result. That's the point. So leadership takes that kind of discipline. It takes understanding that you can't just pop off at people because you're having a bad day. That you don't have a right to do that just because you're someone's employer. What you have to do is make a decision to be disciplined and say, hey, you know what? Let's circle back to this when I have a little bit more time and have had some clarity to think. If you're a person that literally just pops off at people and you wondering why people keep quitting your company, they quit in the company because you're a poor manager or a poor leader. Let's not make a mistake there. Okay. And then the other thing I wanted to share is, if you know you're losing people, have you ever considered going back and asking those people why they leave? Like, was it something that I could have done better as a leader or as an owner or as a manager? And I say that because I watch a lot of small businesses. They don't do exit interviews. So you do an interview to get people on board. You get super excited. And then when people leave and don't stay for a long time, you get so angry that you don't bother to actually do an exit interview to find out the truth about why they're leaving. Here's the thing. If somebody leaving you, they're going to tell you the truth. Facts. They're going to tell you the truth, because if they're smart, they already lined up another job, right? A person that leaves without having another job is a cue for you that it has got to be so bad that they have sacrificed their finances to get the hell away from you. Those are just Facts, right? So just making sure that you all understand that if you, again, if you're just joining, hey Tatiana, hey Chris, Lady B, I am so happy that you all joined. I am excited to have you on. I am wrapping up. I was sharing that we were talking about some signs that you're a poor leader. I had someone ask me to expound a little bit more on some signs of poor leadership. And the biggest one for nonprofit founders or organizations and for profits is if you cannot maintain staff or if you can't maintain customers. There are lots of reasons why, but the biggest thing that we're talking about is really having a clear understanding of, number one, do you really know how to hire people? Because maybe that's something even you shouldn't be doing. Maybe you should outsource that. There are plenty of staffing companies that you could outsource to that could help you with finding the right fit. Number two, are you training your people, right? If you don't have processes and systems together, and if you don't have a training process in order for them, perhaps you should outsource that too. I'm just saying, I am Tiffany Hicks, the CEO of VRE Training Solutions. Get at me. The other thing is, if people are leaving, maybe you're not comfortable with talking to someone and asking them why they left. Do you have a VA? Do you have someone that could do an exit interview, right? And again, so right, Ray of Light Concepts does staffing. She does hiring. She can also do exit interviews. Why am I sharing that with you? Because it is so important. Number one, have you guys ever heard be slow to hire and quick to fire? Well, the slow to hire simply means that you want to pick the right people. And quick to fire is to let them go when they're being ineffective. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. Are you an ineffective leader of your business or organization? And if you are, perhaps you should be quick to fire yourself. And I'm going to leave y'all on that note. So I am Tiffany Hicks. I'm the CEO of VRE Training Solutions. Y'all, thank you for holding me accountable. I'm so glad that I did this live. I got it in today. I enjoyed it. I'll come back on. I have some more reasons or signs that you might be a poor leader. And I will be doing another live talking about that tomorrow. Today I did give you all some tips. So just remember, if you're a poor leader, you can hire people to help you fill in those spaces, because maybe leadership is just not for you. And that doesn't mean it has to be for an eternity. It could simply be that you're in the season of your life where you are just not equipped to lead anything. Right? Maybe you're in a season where you really need to focus on leading yourself and let some partners, strategic partners, help you with the other parts of your business. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye.